it'll be the worst time for him to go and play in the Prem or be a part of the team and then go and get some dumb injury at that age.
There was one bright spark within the Nuremberg preseason game, that being Ethan Nwaneri against Brentford, I want to say, making his debut
Brentford,
as a 15-year-old last season. And there was a bit of a saga, a bit of a situation around his contract at the end of the season. Would he sign? Chelsea lurking. He eventually did sign a contract with Arsenal, and we saw him come off the bench against Nuremberg, and was a bright spark in what was a very dull game. Like I said, disjointed, because obviously a lot of subs had been made at that point, but a very, very bright spark. And obviously Arsenal wanted to get this done. Arsenal were quite happy for the likes of Omari Hutchinson to walk out last season and join Chelsea, all to his detriment now, because Chelsea are spending hella money and he don't look like he'll get into the team anytime soon. But Ethan Nwaneri, Arsenal knew what they had, so much so they gave him a debut at 15 years old during the season last year. So Ethan Nwaneri is obviously someone highly thought of. He's been included on the preseason team. I believe he'll probably fly out to the US with these guys. Do you see him featuring for the Arsenal first team this season?
Absolutely not.
No,
absolutely not. Like maybe a Carling Cup appearance. Like I know, was it last season or the season before, we had Patino play a game, but I think even then Patino was 18 or something like that. So this guy's 16. Like, I'm sorry, but you know, even when Fabregas came through, he's not like where Fabregas was at 16 or 17. And I think Fabregas played when he was 17, and that was only again like sporadic when he was holding, I think he was holding a 43 or something on his back, or 47, something like that. I think he's a top talent. That little turn, that little pirouette he did was amazing. I've seen people saying that, oh, he's better than Fabio Vieira. And I think they need to get off his back still. But I just think he still needs further development. People are already talking about, oh, should he go out on loan this season? I'm like, go out on loan to where? As a 16-year-old, I was I was into just relax. Let him just keep doing his thing, get some more coaching, maybe even put in the works that maybe Arteta will come and coach him or have a couple one-to-one sessions. Let him keep balling in PL2. You know, and all that stuff, like try get another FA Youth Cup. But I mean, he's still got years, his body's still growing. He looks like a solid lad, but he's still gonna be growing. You know, it'll be the worst time for him to go and play in the Prem or be a part of the team and then go and get some dumb injury at that age. Like it doesn't make any sense. Let him just, you know, continue to build. We've got players, like, you know, it's not like back in the day where, you know, we had Mark Randall and them man, and it's like, oh yeah, come and, you know, if you play well, you might get a slide into the team. I think it's way too early. I think it's just a good experience for him, and it's good to see that, you know, there is another batch of Arsenal academy prospects who are coming through. You know, it's not just Saka and Smith Rowe. It's still, there are others who are there. It's not a one-off, but this season, I mean, other than a Carling Cup, and even then, I don't think it's going to be like starting from the beginning. And if it is, okay, cool. But, you know, I wouldn't want to see him in and around the team like that or relying on him. I mean, I think there's enough players to leave that and to not put that much pressure on a 16-year-old. It's a bit, it doesn't sit right with me. But yeah, let the kid just play. Let him just chill out Arsenal, get some more coaching and stuff. Right? You send a 16-year-old on loan to where? Like at what league? What, you send them to the Championship, to League One, League Two, so they can go and just absolutely collapse him? Like,
I do think there could be something in him getting opportunities albeit off the bench opportunities. Because the way they went on and in terms of the difficulty and maybe getting him to sign, not that he didn't want to be at Arsenal or anything like that, but you know, when someone has that kind of power, when they know they're that wanted, they're going to obviously make a good deal for themselves as well. I do think we could be looking at seeing him off the bench every now and again, not often, because obviously he's got commitments to his under 18s team or whatever, but I do think he could be someone that is in and around it, like what's this guy's name, Real Waters. Real Waters somewhat last season was in and around it when needed. I don't think he came on, hasn't made a Premier League debut or anything like that, but he was on the bench a few times. He was, you know, just in and around it, and I think that's the area that even when Nwaneri is kind of walking into right now in Arsenal. Like, yes, you're still far away from becoming a first team player, and you know, thank God we're not at a time where, like, when we thrusted the likes of a 16-year-old Wilshere into it, like we had to. We thrusted the 16-year-old, 17-year-old Fabregas into it. We had to. We're not there right now. We don't have to. Even the likes of Patino, which is like a really highly spoken of talent, he's kind of looking like, well, I don't think I'm going to get my opportunity here, so I have to move on. So I think something could have been mentioned to Nwaneri that, you know, you are going to be in and around it, but don't expect to be necessarily starting games or anything like that. Like you said, you can't be sending man on loan now. Like like he can be good, but it's like, it's one of them ones where it's like, say you have a child in year 8 or something and they're very intelligent, like you're not gonna say, you know, put a GCSE paper in front of them. It's just 4 years, you're 3-4 years away from doing your GCSEs, isn't it? Like, cool, relax, keep developing. But I do think there's something in it that he could be in and around it.
I mean, I think it's calm. I think it's good even for him, just experience to be in and around it, you know, maybe on even like a Champions League night, you know, just to see the energy, to kind of take it in. You know, you're not coming on most likely, but to take it in, to be there, to warm up on the side, you know, to get a feel for it, which I think is fine, you know. I mean, we weren't in the same position, obviously, and it was injuries that led to Saka finding his way into the first team, and I think he was 17 at the time. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for next season or even the season after, when he's hitting 17, 18, if he keeps going up this trajectory, that he forces his way to be an option, which is absolutely fine. But I just think 16, you know, he may even be generational or whatever, you know, he may be. I don't want to know. What I've heard is that there's other players as well who are like of the similar ilk, so I don't think he's like levels like that, but I just think it's just let him develop, let him just chill out.
Yeah, the boy's got talent. He's definitely got you know, something about him. The coaches are looking at him. Wilshere is his coach down there, and Wilshere is obviously pushing him as well. I saw a lot of him. I watched basically the entire Arsenal's FA Cup Youth Cup campaign when they reached the final. They lost to West Ham in the final, but I watched a lot of that. I saw a lot of him in there, pivotal. There's a lot of good players down there. The academy believe he's head and shoulders above everyone else, and you know, they won't be surprised if Mikel was picking him. But we're not in the need to pick him, so we don't need to rush it. We don't need to rush his development. You know, bar everything like you said, just physically as a young man still growing, we don't need to put him under that kind of pressure. Let him actually grow before he begins to start growing as a football player as well. So one day, because he's obviously secured his future, but not right now. Don't need to thrust him into it.
No, definitely. I think, you know, him, what's his name, Lewis Skelly, is that it? Or all these players, like they look, you know, great. I mean, I even noted the through ball that he did for Balogun when he went around the keeper. You know, it was great technique because it was on the bounce and stuff like that. It's just good to see, you know, but I don't want to rush these guys, especially now we're in a position where we don't need to, you know, when we're thrusting young boys into the team to save us and, you know, or to have an impact. You know, it's not fair. It's not fair, you know, and obviously they would love it, you know, who wouldn't, you know, but I think, you know, for the long-term development, you know, it's just good to be like, yo, don't worry, chill, you know, you guys are already showing how good you are. I think they were the only two like youth prospects to come on the tour as well. So, it's big for them. But yeah, keep killing it in the under 18s, PL2, youth cups and all that stuff. And yeah, the chances will come. I'm sure if we get a favorable Carabao Cup tie, maybe even if we don't, we could probably see them feature at some point, depending on the game state and things like that. So yeah, man, more power to them.